motorcycle carrier, and it's just less weight than a trailer. It's less feet behind the RV than a trailer, and we found this amazing deal on Facebook Marketplace. So we're driving. This place is like an hour and a half from where we live. It's probably going to be longer than that though in the RV. So it's going to be like over 3 hours round trip, but it's worth it if it turns out to be good. It was an amazing deal. So we're checking on that right now and heading there. Steven took this RV just this past weekend on a small trip I told y'all about in my last video. Him and a few of his friends went on a motorcycle ride. It was like a one-night trip, and it was a huge event in Kentucky. He said there was like over 500 riders there. It was just a huge, like, organized ride. It wasn't a race or anything. It was like maps they gave out where they showed like where the trails are, and just a big organized ride. He said all in all the RV did good. You know, of course, him and two of his friends stayed in here. And they, of course, love just having a comfy bed to sleep on. He did run into a couple of issues that he is going to have to look at. And I am glad that they went on this small trip so that he could see those issues before our big trip later this year. So the generator did not work. We don't know what's going on with it, but he said pretty much some smoke came out of the back of it, and like out of the very back. So he says he's probably going to have to pull out the whole generator, which I think is going to be an ordeal getting that out and look at the whole thing and see what's going on with it. And then also something with the engine. Nothing major happened, but it kind of, he said on the way there and on the way back, it like kind of sputtered for a minute, but just kind of almost went off for just a second, like, and not long at all, but still, that's like an issue that he is going to look at. So that's two things we are going to hopefully get fixed before our trip. So yeah, you guys, and it is a beautiful day today. The trees are all green. Look at this green trees. I love the green. Oh my gosh, green trees are beautiful. Almost as pretty as fall trees, but oh, I love it. I love this time of year when everything is just so alive, and it is like 70-degree weather, and yeah, it's beautiful. So good day for a little road trip to get something for the RV. Okay, y'all, so this is not long after that previous clip. So we have a bad situation here. The transmission just fell out. And this is Steven's brother, and he's helping us. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal if it's the transmission that fell out, and we're pretty positive that's what it is. First of all, that's just hard to find with these vintage RVs, and so Steven's just really, you know, just stressed right now and upset, and just, yeah, so we're about to go into the vehicle up there to, yeah, because it's gonna have to pull this RV. So yeah, it's a pretty bad situation right now. We've ran into another big situation, so I'll let y'all know what happens later, if we find a transmission for it or not. Well, I'll keep you updated. So there it is back there. They're trying to, it's a rollback he has here. We're actually very blessed about that, because my brother-in-law used to run his own a towing business, so he still has some of the vehicles from that. Otherwise, this would have costed us some money. I mean, thank goodness we didn't get far from the house. We're not far from our house at all when this happened. So, but yeah, this still would have costed us money getting a tow truck out here to get us home. So, but still, this is all just very stressful, especially for Steven. That, yeah, that's a big thing to go wrong, for the transmission to just fall out. So, yep. I mean, it's so bad that we're even questioning if we can even do the trip. If we can't, I mean, of course, if we can't get this fixed, then we're just, yeah, hopefully we can. Oh, man. Hi, everyone. So we just got back in for the night. Oh, what a day. So y'all saw all of those clips from earlier where the transmission fell out of the RV, and y'all saw us right in the middle of dealing with it, and boy, were we stressed and just so discouraged from it. But after a little bit of time and reflecting and talking about it, we feel a bit more positive about the whole situation. Just a few things. First thing being, if this was a newer RV, then getting a new transmission for it or doing any kind of transmission work would be like thousands of dollars. Whereas this, it being a vintage one, hopefully it should just be like a few hundred maybe. And because it is styled just like a regular truck in the front, it should be pretty easy to find if we do need to replace the transmission. But Steven's thinking, I mean, he hasn't looked at it yet, but he's thinking he might can even rebuild it. He has a machine shop. So we don't know. But anyways, we're hoping that it should be a lot cheaper than you know, if it was a newer one. That's why we have a vintage RV, is because you know, the initial price for it was cheaper, and then any working on it should be cheaper, and that's just perfect for us. We just couldn't afford anything else. And, you know, it just has a lot of style and all that too. But another thing is, we do truly feel like God's hand had to have been on this situation, because if this had to happen, we are glad it happened at this point in time. Stephen just went on that Kentucky trip with his friends. And if this had happened like when he was further away from home, it would have been even more of a mess and a headache. Like, that was a good distance away, the Kentucky trip. So if it had happened when he was on the way there or on the way back, and I mean, that was just this past weekend. Um, so we're really glad it didn't happen then. And we're glad that it didn't wait to happen a few months from now when we go on our big trip to Florida. Like, that also would have been a disaster if it had happened on the way there or back. So this happened, like I said in a previous clip, it happened just a few miles from our house. Like, again, we were driving to like an hour and a half away. So if we were like far away from the house, this would have been a way bigger headache and disaster. So we are very glad and grateful that it happened close to home, very, very close to home, and that Steven's brother has a hauler that was able to haul it back home. It was really no problem. It was no trouble at all. You know, we were worried if it was going to be able to, but it did it fine. And yeah, so yeah, we'd still love this RV, you know. That's another thing, is Steven thought he was going to have a break for the next few weeks. He thought he was kind of done working on the RV for a little while. He was going to take a break for a few weeks, but nope. He's going to have to look at this transmission and figure out what's going on and work on that. So that'll and that's going to take more money, whatever it takes to fix it. I'm sure it's going to cost. So there's another additional cost that we're going to have to put into it. So, but we're so close to it being done. We've done so much to this thing. And when I say we, I mean Steven. He's done so much to this thing that we really can't stop now. Like, it's going to be great once it's done, and it'll be beautiful. And you know, we both, you know, just can't wait for it to be done and no more of this kind of major work done to it. Like, hopefully we'll get to a point where we can do like just repair work, and hopefully nothing major like this. Maybe one day down the road we'll get there. And I forgot to tell y'all too, another positive note to end on this day. The reason we're home so late is we did still end up going to that place to pick up that hauler. We just ended up taking our truck. We were going to take our RV to this place, but we ended up just taking our truck because of all that. But it was a great deal, a great find. We ended up looking at it in person, and there was nothing wrong with it. And again, what it is it's just something that attaches to the hitch on the RV, and it's just enough to haul like a small motorcycle, like a dual sport motorcycle like we're planning on taking anyways. Like, it would hold it perfectly. It holds up to 600 pounds, and like our motorcycle is only like 300 pounds. So, and it also has another hitch on the other side of it as well, so that like we can also attach something else if we need to. Like we're thinking about attaching something that can hold like a big tote for storage, for outside storage, or if we wanted to, we could attach a trailer to it as well. Either way, there's just more options when it has a hitch on it as well. It's just very, very nice. It was a great brand name, American made brand. And Steven looked up the brand like website, and he said if he had bought it like from that website, it would have been like $700, and this guy was selling it for 200. So it was a huge savings, and it was in pristine condition. You could tell it had stayed in this guy's garage. He said he hadn't used it in years, so who knows how much he even did use it, but like it looked like really good shape. So another, great thing, great find. So Stephen even joked and said too, so he was like, whatever money we saved on this is just what we'll spend on the transmission. So it kind of evens out maybe. So yeah, it's just, we're going to try to end this on the positive feeling and note that we did get a great deal and a great find on that hauler, because we really needed that. And if we didn't find this great deal, like we would have spent around $700. So yay.